All right, let's try the Braxtons again. Last season was too sad. This season seems like it's also going to have some issues, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. So, Ashley wants to tell the truth about Gabe sending her inappropriate messages, and the rest of the sisters wanted to keep it under wraps. However, one, Gabe is dead. Why are you trying to protect him? He dead. Tell the truth. I want to know why y'all didn't call the authorities while he was alive. Trina, I guess it's because he was paying your bills, but Tamar and Tony would have helped out. Yeah, you would have had to hear their mouth, but at least your kids wouldn't be living with a file. But now we, of course, rewind from the good argument. So now we've gone back to Tamar and Ashley meeting. I feel that because Tamar has opened up on her Iyanla episode that she was abused and the family protected her abuser, I feel that she just didn't want the same for Ashley. Why are we talking about this on a reality show? Y'all are handling it poorly where it's not, I would say, an example that I would want families to follow because it seems like y'all are still protecting the pedophile than protecting the victim. This is why I was hesitant about reviewing it because I'm like, this is too dark for me, but there's a bunch of they bullshit that I ain't gonna miss out on. Oh God, Tawanda is engaged. Is he another do nothing man? Cause you love a do nothing man. How long was you, Tony, and Tamar supporting Andre in his writing career? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't believe this, but I can't believe I'm on Tamar's side. And I really don't like the rest of the sisters. For Tonawanda to ask, how do you feel about the platform that Ashley's been given? How do you feel that Ashley was inappropriately dealt with by your husband? That should be the question. Ashley's well being should be the issue. We're delving into this more than I care to. Look, I know it's your kid's father, but he did the shit. Why aren't you worried about your living cousin? She wants to whine about she's not thinking of the repercussions. She's dealing with the repercussions of your husband's actions. Why aren't you thinking of her? I'm sorry, your kid's gonna have to deal with who their daddy was. They finally bring her up, but then in the way of Trina being a victim. And if you're a victim, then identify with the other victim and shut up. Tamar saying it was everywhere on the internet and it was messy. You relished the mess. I'm sorry, sweetie. Everything is a messy move with you and your family. Even if it's coming from a good place, you still like the mess. I feel like if you really wanted family to heal, you would have done this behind closed doors with a therapist. Okay, Tamar, if you feel like her telling her story isn't going to be helpful, then why are you pushing through with this? If you're saying to production, I feel she's completely regressed, then why are you moving forward? Why is this airing? I'm not saying that things like this should not be dealt with, but Braxton Family Values needs to stay a show about light shade, not things this deep. Y'all don't have the range. I'm not saying that this is a lie. I'm just saying this is being handled poorly and worse by cameras. I mean, the fact that this girl has left the country and don't come back to visit, everybody knows something is up. And I appreciate Tamara for trying to deal with it. Maybe she feels like cameras are the only way to force it into the light and force people to talk about it. But Trina, it's just, this is just bad. It's just bad. And Tamar, I know you're trying to help, but this just, to me, this ain't it. Whew, well, I'll say this, the Braxtons definitely makes us feel better about our own familial relations. From Tawanda going from bald headed to this shake and go wig, I gotta go heat up some food. I can't. So Tawanda's acting, Tamar's getting a liquid butt lift. At least I don't at least my butt is small, so I don't need to lift it up. I firm it. I do the stairs. So Tamar wants to backpedal on this liquid butt lift. And hey, if you ain't feeling it, don't do it. So she run out, then she run back in. She says she want more ass. The doctor asked her, so what's bothering you about your buttocks? Tamar said her boob job hurt and they still hurt. Over with Trina. She's doing real estate now. Who put Evelyn in this piss yellow wig? Your wig shouldn't look jaundiced. Evelyn said she don't miss being married. I think you have to have that level of hate you still have for your husband. You still got to give some type of a shit, and you're mad at yourself for giving a shit. Tawanda's been a perfectionist all her life. She ain't good at it. Tawanda's detail-oriented. Andre was a piece of shit. What about that detail? She steals from her sisters all the time and can never afford her own down payment. That's a perfectionist. She can't even fraud perfectly. Tony's still touring. Happy to see her healthy again. I want to see Tony perform. Tony was my first celebrity that I was enamored with. I just thought she was so beautiful and so cool, and I loved her music. Oh, that's right. Tony's getting into her acting bag. I didn't see her holiday movie, but I liked her in Kingdom Come. Okay, and she's talking about alimony. I just, for years, it was fine, and now it's get a job. I'm very much, you knew what it was when you got with them. If the shoe was on the other foot, you would want your check. So I don't know. And we end the episode with Tamar filming that podcast. Ashley, you are not destroying your family's legacy by what you're saying. They destroyed it by what they did. I'm sorry, Trina, you ain't shit. But now we get back to planning Tawanda's wedding, baby shower, bridal, whatever. That bald head make me think of a baby. However, we find out that Tamar and Tony won't be at the Bachelorette party in Tulum because Tamar was sent a cease and desist. Oh, God, and Tawanda got hit by a car at the airport. However, Tamar said she's not going because it's her birthday weekend, so she was going to be busy in Miami framing Funky Dineva for her missing teeth. So now, you know what? Now we're seeing in real time what was going on. This was all for full free press and promo, so we'd watch your show. But also, since you'd gotten a cease and desist, you wanted your sisters and your family to come and, oh, wounded bird Tamar. Evelyn, I blame you. Now, hold on. Tawanda wanted Tamar to be her maid of honor. Ain't nobody buying that bullshit. Tamar had a photo shoot and she feels she's being made to be uncomfortable because she don't want to pose with a martini. That's not her brand. And I'm like, I get maybe you don't want to promote alcohol to the kids. But are the kids listening to you? Because I feel like your fans is grown. We can have a teeny or two. But you should be at the stage in your career, especially as a Braxton. You've been doing this for, your whole life. Why don't you have people that already know you, know what it's about? It should be boom, boom, boom at your age, at this stage in your career. See, you've had this assistant for 2 years and you've got to tighten up. I think you can't keep anybody working with you because you ain't shit. Evelyn is going to write a book about her life, and it's called Bitter Not Better or something bitter. And I don't want to read a book about how this man cheated and you let it end your life. It sucks. He cheated. But it just seems like after that, you just kind of got stuck there, stuck in that anger. And I don't want to be stuck in anger. You find somebody else, you get married, you move on, like Beyonce's mama did. You don't sit and wallow. But for her to say she don't think she bitter at all, and Tamara just laughing, you gonna say the hole outlasts the pole any day, but the pole's out there enjoying himself, and the hole is bitter and alone. Like, okay, it ain't work out with him. There's other men out there, especially in your holy circle. For better or for worse, that's what the book is called. Tony acting like she said she missing Tanawanda's shower. I don't think she cared that much. And I mean, y'all are like, I'm glad you ain't my sisters. I'm glad you ain't my sisters. Tanawanda's upset that Tamar's not going because of the cease and desist. You don't want Tamar at your wedding. Also, this is your second marriage. Just because you didn't have a wedding the first time, that ain't our fault. I want to say we have seen. So her friend tell her, well, you got to get that energy off your chest. Let Tamar know you're not impressed. Somebody asked Tonawanda, what are you looking forward to most after the wedding? And she said having sex. Tamar's looking forward to not having to put a down payment on your third home. Oh, Lord, Tonawanda. So now Tawanda gonna whine about these damn sisters and this outfit is just so, why is the flower as big as your head? Oh, God. Now it's I wanted my bio sisters to help me. My bio sisters, were you adopted and we didn't know your bio sisters? You ain't got no other sisters. Tony and Tamara got to keep their careers up so they can pay for your housing. So Tamara getting her nails done instead of going to the Bachelorette trip. Tamara is keeping it real. She said production told me Tawanda didn't want me at that damn thing. And now I'm not there and she want to act like she whining, but she ain't. Oh, gosh, she's still whining about this photo shoot. We go and zip line in the next day. However, in Tulum, the heifers is having a good time. Now we're having a pajama party. Carly Red. And we end the episode with Trina's husband saying he's got heart failure at the urgent care. Well, I'm going to see you soon for the next one. So we open with Trina getting home to Vaughn. Tamara does an episode of The Outlaws with T.S. Madison. I can't wait till I'm relevant enough to be on Outlaws. So T.S. asks her about the knee story, and she says, I can't speak on it because of my cease and desist. She's pissed with them because she's like, I was honest and told you she was coming, but now you're going to send me a cease and desist. Oh, God, now Tamara going in on Craig. So here's the thing. It's not that Craig doesn't like you. Craig just might see through your bullshit. And also, Craig is not paid to like you. You ain't paid to like Craig. And we are still the only black, long-running family reality show, period. I'm sorry, honey. Y'all had to drop the values this season because you clearly don't have any. We don't need black embarrassment. We're the only black family that has been on television this long. Girl, boom. They wasn't paying you shit that first season, and it fell apart. We ended up with Phaedra Braxton. Phaedra fucking Braxton when you all left your sister, but you left her high and dry. Them white people got you for your money. She said my villain era was my first Braxton's. Yeah, well, you was a pain in the ass then, and you a pain in the ass now. Then Tamar talks. She says she's been celibate for a year. It ain't been a year since you was out here crying over Colonel Sanders. So over with Tawanda, she's picking out the color for her dress, and I think it's purple. She's like, I got kids, so I ain't wearing white. So Tony can't make it to the bridal shower now, and Tamar's persona non grata. Oh, God, this is not her wedding dress. All right, so we've got a chocolate and lavender gown. This is deconstructed, I hope. Over with Trina, she gonna get her and Vaughn on a good diet. However, now we've gotten a medical emergency with Evelyn in Atlanta, and Tony's rushing to her side. Oh no, she had a blockage in her heart. Well, I'm glad they caught it. So Mama Evelyn asked for some food when she woke up. They put a stent in her heart. So Tony drops by to see her mom. Her mom goes home. We happy that Evelyn getting better. But let's get to this dinner scene. Oh, and now here come Trina and Tamar. All right, now we're getting to the dinner scene. Tawanda won't move for the salt because she's getting married. So Tamar gonna have a suss out after this cease and desist. So we all sit down and we're talking about sex at first, and then Tamar brings up her celibacy. And Tony's like, girl, you were married a year ago. No, I wasn't. Yes, you was, to that pink toe. I remember. Tawana Wanda whining about all the shit she doing for her wedding. And then Tamara said, well, I was relieved of my duties as maid of honor, so I don't know who helping you. So Tony bring out her cease and desist, and they're like, and? So Tamar wants to know who knew about it, and Tanawana says she didn't. Tony said, I didn't know either. So it's Trina defending her dead husband. And that was the shit. We didn't even get to the affair allegations, so we'll talk about that next week. But I'm going to see you soon for Married at First Sight.